Hello. Let's do some special triangles. And let me step over here and see if I got, there we go. So back here, I'm going to have to, all right. We got a special triangle here. Let me see if I can draw this special triangle here. All right. Comes up like this. This is supposed to be a 45 by 45 with a right angle, okay? And then I come straight down here and across here and make this angle, and let's call this 60 degrees. So that one up here is 30. All right, and then I have an unknown I'm trying to find right here at x, and this side is 7. All right, so I know that in order to find this is a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. In order to find this x, I need to find first the hypotenuse of that. Well, I'm given down here 7. Well, this is fairly easy. I know in the special triangle of a 30, 60, 90 triangle that the hypotenuse is, this side right here opposite the 30 degrees is going to be 1/2 of the hypotenuse. Therefore, the hypotenuse is going to have to be 14. All right. So if the hypotenuse is 14 now, in order to find that, so I know that if the hypotenuse is 14, and in order to find x, all I know is I know that x is going to be equal to 14 times the square root of 2 over 2. And of course, the 2 will go into the 14, and that should equal to 7 times the square root of 2. Okay. Well, that's their problem. Let's try another problem here. Let me see if I can draw this accurately as best as I can. I've got a line here, and then I'm going to come down here to right about there, go up. There's my right angle. There is 60 degrees. Now I've got a 45 sitting here, which I go out a ways, and then I come down here. This is a 45, and this angle here is a right angle. And I have a known of 7 over here. Now, in order to find, where's my x? Here's my x. In order to find, this right here happens to be the hypotenuse. In order to find that, I have to find this leg here, which we know this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So in order to find that, I know this leg is always going to equal to what? It's going to be the square root of 3 over 2 times the hypotenuse, which happens to be 7. So that means this leg right here, we'll call that y, is going to equal to that. So let's call this y. Now, in order to find x, we know that y, or the on the isosceles triangle, the 45, that side is always the square root, the hypotenuse times the square root of 2 over 2. So now I just take y, which is 7 times the square root of 3 over 2 times the square root of, hold on, let's see. Yeah, this is y right here. So x is going to be, so equals, so x times the square root of 2 over 2 is going to equal this side right here. Now, we know that both sides are divided by 2, so if I multiply both sides by 2, I will end up with x times the square root of 2 equals 7 square root of 3. And now I just divide both sides by the square root of 2. I'll end up with x equals 7, the square root of 3, over the square root of 2. And therefore, I've got to get this guy out of the denominator, so I'll multiply both the top and the bottom, or both of these by the square root of 2, which is the same thing as multiplying times 1, so that therefore the value of it does not change. And therefore that is going to equal to what? 7. We got 7. Now the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, square root of 3 times the square root of 2 is going to be a 6. So that means the square root of 6 all over the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So that should be our answer there. Now, let's do another one right over here in the corner, and this will be it. So I'm going to put this side right here, and then I'm going to make my 30, 60, 90 triangle right about there. So there's my 90 degree. There's my 60 degree. Now I've got to draw a 45, and that 45 is going to come down here like this, over to here. That is a right angle, and this is a 45 degree angle. And obviously this side over there is too. Now I have a known over here, which is the 9 times the square root of 3. And I'm looking for x over here. Excuse me, x over here. Now, this is the hypotenuse of this 30, 60, 90 triangle. So in order to find this leg, I know that if this is the hypotenuse, then this leg over here opposite the 60 degree is going to be the square root of 3 over 2. So all I got to do is multiply that times the square root of 3 over 2. So 9 times the square root of 3 over, leave that, times the square root of 3 over 2. So that's going to equal to what? 3, that's going to equal to 9 times 3 over 2, which is going to equal to 27 over 2. So that's what this leg right there is. Now, if that's the hypotenuse of this triangle, then I know this leg is all I do is multiply the hypotenuse times the square root of 2 over 2. So I take this 27, 2 times the square root of 2 over 2, and that's going to end up at equal to 27 times the square root of 2 over 4. And that should be my answer. So that is what x is in this case right here. Okay, so you've just seen a little summary right there of 3 problems on that, and I hope you have a good day.